I'm Matthew Kurbis, the subscription attorney, and this is Law Subscribed, your dedicated source for all things subscriptions and the law. Thank you to my sponsors. See links to them in the show notes. Everything discussed is only for educational and entertainment purposes. Enjoy the show.
I dabbled with Opus Clips. People swear by Opus Clips. Here's my AI advice. If you're using something and it works for you, keep doing it, right? But if you don't have a video tool, then like Descript is like, it's the best in my opinion, especially for the price. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
I mean, it is a podcast, so we could edit this thing.
Right.
Right? All right, and I've got us here if we want to make sure we're staying on camera.
All right.
Okay. Welcome to a special episode of Law Subscribed live at Maximum Lawyer. That's where we're at, Max Law Con, right? Thank you to Tyson. We're here. Adam, you want to say hello to my audience?
Yeah, hi everybody. Adam Rossen with the Rossen Law Firm. I was looking for my badge, but I wanted to rep the Meet Gabby stuff, so I hit it. But yeah, this Max Law Con, I think it's been 3 or 4 years since the last one, so I'm so glad they did it, and I'm back, and I get to meet great people like Matthew, and you're speaking today. I spoke yesterday, so just having a great time.
It's great. Now we're going to get into subscriptions in a minute here. Adam and I were just talking over lunch, and we have some ideas for his criminal defense firm. He's already doing some really cool things, so we will get to the subscription stuff in a minute. But first, Adam, you want to talk a little bit about your talk, give the highlights, what cool thing you're doing that really I don't really know any other law firm that's doing it like this.
Yeah, and like anything I think that I've done is kind of stumbled into it and then had some time to reflect and iterate and make things better. But we run an amazing criminal defense, criminal justice internship program out of our firm in South Florida. It's a nationwide program. It's a high academic program. It has a curriculum. It's curriculum based. We book club. We have speakers from across the country, and they do get to be paired up with our attorneys and work substantively on cases. And we have about 3 high schoolers every year, and then about 4 or 5 undergrad and about 4 or 5 law students. So last summer we had 300 applicants for 13 positions, and it's amazing. It's like the highlight of everybody's year in my firm this summer.
So long-time listeners will remember last year when I announced legalextern.com. This was my failed attempt to launch a law school equivalent of it, because I was inundated with all different kinds of law schools, with even lawyers were applying to it, and it was way more administrative work than I was planning on it. So when I heard Adam up there on stage speaking about this, I was like, okay, this can be executed well, and you just have to do it. So more to come on that on Legal Extern in the future. Though, Adam, we were talking, you might actually start to look at law students now.
Right. Well, we have law students already, but we brand it as an internship. So we were talking at lunch about changing it and branding it as an externship, and really going to you gave me some great advice about how to approach it with the career development people as more of the externship base. Because one of the things that we're having a problem with is these law schools won't give school credit for our law firm's internship program. So trying to figure out ways to do it, because my program is not just come and let us make money working off you. Like it's a huge, massive undertaking, but we love it so much. I'm so passionate about it, and the students should get credit. So anything I can do to get them school credit is what I want to do.
Yeah, because what law students need is they need to learn like real how to run the business of law, actual substantive how to do the legal work, help the clients, advise the clients, go to court if that's what you do, understand the legal documents, which we are just not learning in law school.
Right. No, and most people choose their career based on whatever their first job is. I mean, I know all the people from, the law school graduates from 2008 to 2011 who they did foreclosure defense because that's all that was available, and now they're 40 years old, and what are their skill sets? Maybe a little bit of real estate, a little bit of bankruptcy, and there might not be any passion behind that, or what do they do now? And so there's a lot of similar stuff. So I want people, especially in law school, but of all, and undergrad as well, to be able to come to criminal law, and if that stokes your passion, then I've done my job. If now you check it off the list and say, I don't want to do this, or I want to be a prosecutor now, great, we've done our job, but people need that experience.
Right. So you're a criminal defense attorney. So naturally, I thought, well, you must be offering fixed rates, and you are.
Yes, we do flat fees.
So I'm sure I've had more, but 2 criminal defense attorneys who've been on the podcast, the subscription lawyer, not to be confused with the subscription attorney, right? So John, also in Chicago, immigration and criminal defense, utilizing subscribation.
Wait, so you had him on the podcast?
He's been on the podcast.
So that was probably like in Spider-Man when the 3 Spider-Mans are all together.
right.
Who's who?
A little bit of Spider-Man meme,
Okay.
and if you're watching Peacemaker right now, you've seen that recently on the Peacemaker show. So And then Amanda Carey Center for Justice, also offering subscription and fixed fee, subscription in addition to fixed fee criminal defense works. And I think there's been more on the pod, but those are the two that come to mind. So I know that subscription's being utilized in the criminal defense space, and we talked a little bit about that at lunch. What was your, hey, we're live, we're here, there's other people talking, it's okay, I hope Descript takes out the background noise. It's all right, it will, I know it will. So, what did you take away from our conversation about how you can maybe leverage the subscription model in your practice?
Well, first, I want to listen to those 2 episodes and see how they do it on the front end of their practice.
Sure.
So what we were talking about was more of the back end of my practice.
Right.
So what I've done since about 2017 was we handle a lot of probation issues for free or included in our fee. Now, we don't handle a violation of probation for free. That's a lot of work. It's a whole separate matter. But if there's a motion for travel, if there's issues going on here and there, then we usually have handled that for free. Well, the last year and a half, well, let me back up. The reason we did is because we wanted people to still stay in our ecosystem and have a great experience. And maybe we didn't get the Google review when they had to plea to a DUI, and maybe they were disappointed. But you know what? When we did their early termination of probation for free, then we got our Google review. And then they left happy, and somebody maybe gets 2 years probation. Well, after a year, they can early terminate. They're in our group, not just getting our newsletters, but they're actively thinking about us for that day. So that was the design from it.
Right.
It was more of a long-term client nurturing, after, path. But my team, the feedback from my team has been like, it's just too much work, much work, and they feel a little entitled, and they're really draining from the cases that we have. So I was talking with Matthew about, and I was talking with a bunch of criminal lawyers I know just about, well, what do we charge, and do they do what I do? And they're all like, no, we charge extra, and it's all a la carte. So we were talking about the subscription model.
Right.
And that's, I think, fascinating to me.
Let me tell you about the brand new sponsor for Law Subscribed, Paxton. I've been using Paxton as my legal AI tool for over 2 years. I continue to evaluate and demo other legal AI tools in the market and still decide to stick with Paxton because of its reliability, its accuracy, its ease of use, affordability, and they do not lock you into a long-term contract. Now, as a transactional and fractional general counsel attorney, I'm using Paxton for all of my substantive and non-substantive legal work, whether that's legal research, analysis, drafting, or enhancing existing legal work product. In the time it used to take me to draft and analyze legal documents, now, after a little bit of back and forth with Paxton, I have something ready to go in minutes that used to take hours or even days. While I'm no longer a litigator, I could see how valuable Paxton would be when researching a new issue, preparing for a deposition, drafting a motion, or going to trial. So if your firm would benefit from using Paxton as your legal AI tool, then make sure to use the link in the description when signing up to let Paxton know I sent you. That's all about our new sponsor. Now back to the show.
Right, so what comes to mind for me is the idea of the do it yourself, done with you, and done for you. And so you talked about like actually having to file this motion and go to court, right? So the way that the 3-tiered subscription process would work for this, what did you call it? You said probation.
Yeah, I was thinking
protection plan.
Yeah, probation protection plan or something like that.
Right, that's good. That's a good alliteration. I like
yeah.
that. Right,
it's getting tratrademarked. So
right. Good thing these are recorded in advance. I don't know when this is going to go live.
We're getting that.
I'll give you enough time.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So you can give people and look, and we talked about this. There could be a freemium level of this. I don't think that goes into your 3-tiered pricing structure. You actually want to charge for this. What I'm about to say, but you could offer some sort of freemium. Hey, we'll just give you our newsletter. We'll give you something, some information, but we're not actually going to do anything for you, right? You could still offer that. Maybe take away some of what you were giving and add it to your lower level subscription package, and then still give a slice of that away for free. But here's this motion, or here's this database, right? And it includes this motion for, I'm not a criminal defense attorney.
Right.
Post, what would you call it?
Well, it could be a motion for early termination and probation. We have a lot of people who want to travel.
There we go. Let's just use that.
Yeah.
Right. So motion to permit travel, but let's say with motion for early termination. I understand that. I'm a former litigator, albeit not a criminal defense attorney. So here's this database of all these motions. Maybe they pay some sort of, de minimis subscription, $20 a month, $100 a month. You'll know what your clients in your market will be able to afford for sort of, I call it like the no effing brainer level subscription. That's my $20 a month subscription for my clients, right? Like that gets them access. It doesn't get them everything. It gets them access. Okay, here's the database. You have access to it. You could fill it out yourself. You could do it yourself. Middle tier, okay, we're going to help fill it out for you. right? You let us know, you reach out to us, fill it out for you, we'll fill it out for you. You're still going in, you're doing it pro se, but now you had a lawyer help you prepare it, right? And so whatever that is, maybe that's a 2x, your level 1 subscription, maybe it's a 3x. You got to figure out how could you plus this offering more than just we're going to help you fill out the forms. Jess Birkin comes to mind for her subscriptions for nonprofits. She offers some sort of like this style of subscription tiering for the nonprofits. Do you just want the access to the database, do it yourself as a board, or do you want us to help fill it out for you? Do you want us to just talk to you and then we're going to fill out all the paperwork for you? So then that spoils the third ultimate premium tier, which is, and you charge a premium for this.
Right. Yeah.
Like we're talking 5-10x what you charge level 1 for level 3, right? Because this is not necessarily an all you could eat. I think it's still really important to scope a certain amount of like projects or legal things that we do per month or per quarter. I can't remember his name. His name's also Matt. I'll have to think about his last name, but he does fractional GC work for staffing agencies, and he charges every quarter. So you don't have to do it monthly. You could do it quarterly. You could do it annually, right? Okay. Maybe you could do it based on the length of the probation period, right? But whatever it is, you charge a 5 to 10x rate from level 1, and we're going to do a lot of it for you. We'll just have a conversation with you or send you the form or whatever, but we'll fill out the paperwork. We'll take it to court. We'll represent you. We'll, maybe it includes so many appearances. Maybe you charge such a premium that even if you went 10 times, you were still making money.
Okay.
Right? What do you think about this 3-tiered structure?
I mean, I like it. Now, I think also for me, it might be good to at least either still offer the a la carte or show how it compares to the a la carte pricing. Mm-hmm. Because, and for me, I'm thinking, do we include a violation of probation or not in there? So I got to work through that because, even though we would do a lot of the maintenance stuff and the easy stuff for free, we would always charge extra for violation of probation. So maybe even at the highest tier, we say, we never want a client to violate probation, but we go, hey, your first violation of probation is included, not free, right?
Right.
But we don't want that. So
right. I think that's actually really good. Right, and this is the way that I explain, and a lot of lawyers leveraging the subscription model explain it. It's you're paying really for access,
right?
And you're also paying to make sure we are available to do the things that we promise, right? No legal ethics advice given on this podcast. Longtime listeners know that everything's for educational purposes only. I usually say it in the beginning of a show, but this is a special live one. Right. So you have to make sure you're able to actually fulfill if everyone came in. We're not a gym. This is not a gym membership. If everyone shows up at the gym and there's not enough equipment for everybody who's subscribed, that's different with professional services. But I think you say it's included as part of this package of all these things.
Maybe that's the gold package or the good,
right?
Best.
Whatever good, but however you want to, whatever phrasing you want to call it. My pricing is business level, business plus, business premium, right?
Well, I think what we can do is what I'm thinking is I'd like to go back and see how many of our current clients violated probation in the last year or in the last 2 years and break it down and say what percentage. Okay, do we have maybe a 20% violation rate? Well, then what did we charge for that? How do we deal with that? How many violated multiple times? And then if we went into this tiered package, then we'd probably come out on top versus 50% or whatever.
Am I hearing you're saying look at the data?
Yes, look at the data.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who would have thought a speaker at MaxLawCon would know, a business owner would know to look at the data? Yes, absolutely, you look at the data, right? And you adapt your pricing on the fly, right?
And I'm even thinking part of the fee, like for example, let's say you get 12 months probation and you're eligible for early termination at 6 months, then maybe we price it, the highest tier is like, you include that early termination.
Right, we're just going to do it for you.
And it's basically like, look, it's ideally, it's perfect. Or maybe we say, look, it's included and you pay for 6 months. And if for some reason we can't get you early terminated, then the rest is free. What do you think? As we're talking, I'm thinking about that. Is that good or does that make sense?
Yeah. Look, I think that makes sense. And
maybe the highest tier.
The highest tier, right. And another thing, something you could offer for all of these plans, or maybe only the top 2 plans, is rather than they could just call you anytime they want. I mean, I don't know, do you how does that work right now in your firm? How
they're talking to our case manager. They're not getting in touch with me,
right, but your firm.
But our firm, and
they just call.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, I mean, I've been trying to move firms towards scheduled calls, right, rather than just calling whenever somebody wants. And frankly, I think that is a nice level of service. Calendly, other scheduling links, although everyone knows I love Calendly, you can make a custom link for every single client. And once they're not a client, you can just turn off the link so they can't abuse it, right? And they could schedule 15 or 30-minute calls with you whenever your team member is already available. right? And maybe at the entry level, they get access to team members. And at the premium level, they could schedule a call with an attorney, right? So you let them schedule these calls, so now you're freeing up your people to not have to just answer the phone whenever somebody calls in. Your clients are scheduling calls with you. And not because that's just better for you to protect your time or your team members' time, and it is, but it feels special. We give you a custom scheduling link where you schedule a time, you get somebody from our team.
Right.
Do you want a lawyer? Pay the premium price.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot. So
Yeah.
I got a lot of things I got to think about now and work through, which is good. I'm excited because this has been a pain point in my firm for the last 6 to 9 months. We've been very, frustrated.
Something I've heard from a lot of attorneys here at Max Law Con is they are like you. They're giving away things that are of value for free with the purpose that we get good reviews, they'll come back, they'll refer, but people are willing to pay for value.
Right.
And so we have to be comfortable with charging a reasonable amount to package that value in such a way.
Right. Well, and one thing I learned from my very good friend Marco Brown out of Utah, I want to give a special shout out to. He's very big on get paid for the work that you do. Get paid. Right. You gotta get paid, and that's why he has virtually no AR in his firm, and he's been an amazing friend and mentor. So Marco, if you're out there watching and listening, I've learned a lot from you.
Or even behind the camera as we speak right now. So we'll have to have you back on the pod after you've actually launched some version of this. But then do you just want to tell us before we say goodbye, what is this Gabby thing that you're wearing on your shirt?
Yes, so we have Meet Gabby. So I'm very lucky to be a co-owner of Meet Gabby. We were here as a vendor and sponsor. We're a voice AI company. We have just amazing technology, and I'm using it in my firm in criminal defense, but it's for pretty much any industry. It's replacing my answering service. It's going to replace my intake team. It's going to be doing gas calls, outbound calls. It's going to be doing tons of things for the firm, and we're just very happy. The voice tech is so good, and we've been growing like crazy. So I'm very excited for this, and not to replace humans, but to help the firm grow and scale without having to maybe need an additional 15 humans. We can have 2 or 3 additional humans and have Gabby help scale it as well. So and making sure that the service is still top notch.
So if people wanted to reach out, get in touch, apply for the internship program, all the links, share all the links.
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, Adam Rossen. For the Criminal Defense Internship Program, I think we're criminalinternships.com. You can just Google Rossen Law Firm Internships. We're there, but I'm pretty sure it's criminalinternships.com, rossenlawfirm.com.
Ask Perplexity to tell you where the right link is.
Yeah, exactly. It's all there. But yeah, we do everything. So find me on LinkedIn. And if there's anybody that wants to talk about the internship program, if there's any criminal lawyers out there and you want to talk about how you're doing the flat fees and maybe in the after unit, how you're doing things with probation and stuff like that as well, I'd love to talk and learn and connect with really anybody on here.
All right, so just a fun question for you that I like to ask some guests when I remember to. Is a hot dog a sandwich, and why?
Oh, no, a hot dog's a hot dog.
Why?
Why? Because it's a hot dog. It's different. It's its own category. The only other thing in a hot dog bun, I guess, would be a lobster roll. And I would say a lobster roll is not a sandwich. A lobster roll is a lobster roll. So it's a category of one.
Okay, we don't judge the answers here. We just ask the questions.
Okay.
All right, thanks again so much for coming
All right,
on.
of course. Thanks.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Make someone's day by sharing this episode with them. The best way to get in touch is to follow and message me on LinkedIn. To get extra content, subscribe to the newsletter at www.lawsubscribe.com, where you can also become a paid subscriber to get episodes and content early. Until next time, this is Matthew Kurbis with Law Subscribed.